No, I'm chilling, son. I'm just watching the internet commit these career killings, man. That's all.
Oh shit! What happened?
The internet's like the Denzel, man. I'm putting cases on all you motherfuckers.
On all you bitches.
And I was just laughing at what's her name, Gina Carano, that crazy broad.
Oh, people, we made a video about that, and I am so tired of because the world is so crazy right now. The world is so insane that people out there. Do you remember when there was a day when crazy people used to be the minority?
Yeah, no, now listen, man. They got a whole army, man. They coming out.
When did it become 50% sane and 50% batshit crazy?
After the pandemic?
Yeah, man. So I was laughing at Gina Carano thing. I mean, she did it to herself, but at the same time, that old, you say something, the internet, will catch it, and you gotta be careful what you gotta say, I guess. But then the internet was like, we got her. Who's next? David Letterman, we'd like to see you in front, please, please, please.
What did David Letterman do?
Well, there was something going around saying how he was very, sexual or ish towards Lindsay Lohan and just very kind of in your face to her. I don't know if it's sexual or more so he's kind of berating to her, talking about her when she went to rehab and things like that, and just really going after her. And like, oh, would he go after her if she wasn't a female? Would he go after her as a male? And, people put this clip up talking about, this 5-minute clip of him talking to different female guests that he had throughout the years. And, it was like, okay, what's going on here? And people making it seem as though, he was being very, sexual or saying crazy things to these female guests throughout the years. And I'm like, I don't know about all that. I mean, I can't speak to that because, if you're a female and if you are feeling a certain way about what somebody says, I can't speak on that, right? So if you feel offended, yes, you're offended. I can't say yay or nay on that. That's on you. But, watching these clips and hearing how he's speaking to people, you can tell that it was, again, that time when he was early David Letterman. But as he got to older David Letterman, it was very much, him trying to be funny in an uncomfortable way.
Yeah.
And I think he did that with everybody. I don't think it was just females. I mean, granted, he was saying how, how lovely girls' legs were, women's legs were, and how much they smelled nice.
Yeah.
And that's what the clip would end. He was like, yo, you smell great. And it would clip to somebody else. Hey, look, you smell great. And it cut to something else. I'm like, okay, is this really something to be like, witch hunting about?
This person's victimized, people taking a list. Well, who else was mean to you in the past? And it's like, oh, that's Jesus fucking Christ, man. But let me take a look because they have this Twitter video up of him talking to Lindsay Lohan. Lohan. And this says here, this Lindsay Lohan interview on David Letterman in 2013 is horrifying to watch now. Let's take a look.
What are they rehabbing, first of all? What is on their list?
We didn't discuss this in the pre-interview. We've discussed this in the past.
See, I'm the one who's having the blackouts.
I get it. It's a kind of a longer interview, too. I get what people are talking about. I mean, looking at this, this is a person that's struggling with addiction, some mental things going on at the time. Would I conduct an interview like that? No, I would not do that. But I get what he's doing. I mean, this has been what I think needs to be understood. One, this is 8 fucking years ago. This what is this 2013? And I'm not giving him a pass, anything like that. I think it's cool to have people reflect, not try to lynch people, not try to have, like you say, a witch hunt. I think, to make people aware of what they've done. Somebody who grew up watching David Letterman, man, I can tell you that this was his on-screen personality. I've seen David Letterman do this with several people, and maybe he shouldn't do it with addiction, but it was a different time, even back in 2013. And while I say there's no excuse, because you can't use that with everything. You can't use that was a different time. If somebody was sexually molested, or if you had somebody who was in statutory rape, I've heard people say, because you've had certain rock and rollers and musicians out there who would have these young groupies, and people say, well, it was just like that at the time. And that's really no excuse, but and at the same time, I get it, I do. I mean, I shouldn't say I get it, but it was years ago and the atmosphere was different. David Letterman, I've seen interviews where he just pretty much with with guests, he would just pretty much tell them, yeah, you know what, that's stupid what you just said. His whole thing was, he had a caustic, sarcastic personality, and that's what he built the show on, and that's what he was paid for. That's what he was encouraged to do. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, that was his shtick. I remember watching him as well. You know, he'd be very cringy when it came to certain things. You know, that was his way of being, swarmy, and getting with the audience, because the audience want to hear those type of things, right? He was very much a toned down Howard Stern.
What do you want? Do you want to ruin people, or do you want to make them aware of what they've done that maybe doesn't fly today, and maybe make them a better person? Because I think looking at this, yeah, I see where the cringe is coming in. Somebody who's suffering from addiction and you sit up there making jokes at their expense and being kind of an asshole about it. Yeah, like I said, I probably wouldn't have done that, but I get where that's coming from. And I don't even think that's sincerely David Letterman. That's just what he built his personality on for years.
It looks like he's enjoying it too.
Yeah, well, what's your opinion on it? I don't want to leave you out of it.
I don't think it looks tasteful for him,
Yeah.
Like, forget about how Lindsay Lohan thinks and everything. I think when I watch it as a third person, it just doesn't look tasteful. It doesn't look funny. Like, I wish you could be funny in a different way, I wish you were better than this. This is how I feel.
And see, this is where we disagree, because you and I have like a different sense of humor, because there's a lot of things that I've seen, you just kind of like, that's not tasteful humor right there. I've actually listened to comedians on stage, and they just kind of were, they were dirtier comedians. They use harsher words, and she doesn't like that.
I don't have a problem with dirty stuff. I have a problem with like this kind of stuff. Like, this is disrespectful, and he's just enjoying it, and he's just like, it just looks like he's pushing his finger in the wound. It's just like, I don't know. Like, do you really need this?
You can't make a joke of it. Stop.
Yeah, she's tearing up a little bit. God bless you.
I love you too.
There you go.
Yeah, I listen.
Thank you, Chet, by the way, supporting me.
What am I supposed to say? I definitely think that this is mean-spirited. I like I said, I would not do that. And I did watch the end. It did get meaner as it went along.
It doesn't feel like joking. It feels like mocking.
It feels like bullying in a way.
Yeah.
No, it does. So at this point, what do we want to do? Do we want to crucify this person, ruin this person's life? Or do we want to say, hey, do you feel bad about this? What have you learned anything? Should you apologize? Maybe, yeah, that's fine. But I don't know about ruining somebody for this.
But will that be enough? Saying I'm sorry. I don't think it's gonna be enough for the internet. The internet wants blood, baby, and they ain't gonna stop till they get it, because this is what kind of started the whole thing of them. Like, okay, well, he did this with Lindsay Lohan. Let's see what else he's been doing, and that's when he came up with this clip I saw of him being, quote unquote, sexual with these women.
There's a lot of people. At what fucking point do you want to do this?
Well, yeah, you're right about that.
Yeah.
And, who else are going to come after? Now you had to be smart, right? Or try and be smart, right? Now we got Justin Timberlake talking about, I'm sorry, Britney, and I'm sorry, Janet. I should have been there for you, baby, but I wasn't.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
And you know what? That is true, man. Yeah, he apologized. He apologized to Britney. He apologized to Janet, and he even apologized to that titty that she pulled out.
And that's what happens, right? Now you got to try and get ahead of it, but somebody gets in front of it for you.
Yeah,
You know
he's feeling it's coming, so it's just,
Yeah.